Shalom, shalom. Welcome back to the channel. We are so happy, honored, and privileged to be with you here today on January 26th. 16th.
Yeah,
I blasted 10 days in the
right.
future real quick.
We just be in the future.
Yeah.
Because we literally are in the future.
No, yeah, we really are. It's
Or
7:35 right now.
from where we come from. So if you guys don't know, we are from Columbus, Ohio, and now we here in Africa. So
Dang, you're not gonna tell me where you at no more?
I'm just so used to not saying that.
Me too,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yes, welcome guys, welcome. We wait for a couple people to get in the room. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about some business because we always get people that ask us like, you guys always tell people to leave and come to Africa or get out of America, but people don't be in a position to do so. And we literally try to use our skills and talents and really bless people to understand that they can do this with their skills and talents because we done it. We are literally
Over and over we've done
yeah,
it.
we walk in testimonies of um, how to sustain yourself outside of America.
Yeah.
And this is what we try to tell people like, man, we don't just be saying stuff just to say it. We try to teach people how to, sustain themselves. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that started like with us we had a desire to move abroad. We knew years before we ever left America that we wanted to live in Africa. And for us, logically, that would mean the first thing that we had to do was run a business. We knew we weren't going to come to the continent, work like a waitress job, work even, anywhere on the continent. One, because the currency will be so low and you're not used to that. As an American, you're like optimistic. You're like, yes, it's gonna work for me. And then a lot of people find out, no, this don't work for me. I can't do it.
Or you
because you're not used to that.
Exactly. Or you really gotta have ties here in a country that you're going
to even get a job.
Because I remember that we were applying for jobs at the embassy.
When?
Before we left.
Before we left.
Or I want to say apply.
At the embassy.
We were looking at jobs. Like, man,
okay.
if we did work there, it would have to be similar, some type of job that would be similar to the currency that we make, like the US currency. So just say like 50,000, 60,000 a year. What kind of job in Africa provides that for us? So we were looking at jobs like that.
That would be like the only type.
Yeah, that it really didn't work
your income. Yeah. And many times that won't even replace your income because the cost of living is so high in America now. The average person makes 80,000, 90,000 a year, just on average, because it takes that much to just survive. Especially if you are an expert, you're probably already making at least above 65,000. But you don't yet know how to translate that outside of America. You don't know how to translate that outside of your workplace. You don't know how to translate that outside of bedside manner, if that's what it is for you. I know that's what it used to be for me. For him, it used to be the warehouse. It used to be doing warehouse jobs, doing trucking, doing logistics, managing, things like that. But we're happy to tell you today that you actually are an expert. And I was telling you this earlier, I had a call with someone who is interested in Black Educators Amplified. This is the last 48 hours. And we never extended. We never even go live to talk about this in the last 48 hours, but we were like, wow, with everything happening in California, with everyone that's so grateful for us telling them that we're in Mauritius, for everyone that's just looking for hope, looking for like, gosh, I'm sick of America, but I don't know how to get my finances in order. Just doubting themselves. Like, you don't need to doubt yourself anymore. We're going to show you that you are a true expert. So for example, I was on the phone earlier with a sister and she was telling me that she has a passion for art. And I was like, wow, you're actually in the perfect position to expand your business online, because I actually have proximity to an entrepreneur that did that. And it was my mother. As a child, I watched my mother go make a full-time income using group coaching and consulting outside of a 9-to-5. She would go on the weekends to nursing homes, pitch her services. What service? Pottery. My mom makes these beautiful vases, beautiful pottery, okay? And she would go teach seniors in senior living facilities how to do that. and she would get paid through each ticket or each spot. So if she's teaching a class with 20 seniors, who's paying for it? The senior living facility. You can do workshops like this. We also have somebody that is coming in for cohort 5 this Sunday that is an electrician. Like, you can literally take curriculum, standardize, and share that intellectual property with everybody, everywhere, in every economy on earth, because everybody needs experience and service. Services will never run out of business. In fact, they're going to increase in the age of AI, where everybody's just like, Chat GPT, tell me what I should do today. People, real humans, desire and want humans to give them a better life experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all, Black Educators Amplified this Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. I dropped a link in the chat if you're interested in learning more about it, but you are truly an expert in everything that you do, okay? And so it doesn't matter if you're a teacher, if you are a math tutor, if you are a massage therapist. We've had a massage therapist come in. If you are in functional medicine. Oh, our other client, she just sent me an email, a previous client from cohort 4. She launched her YouTube channel, and I was just so excited going through it. Like, she followed the steps, launched the YouTube channel, is getting that traction so that she can then decide if she wants to move to Kenya or Botswana. There's such a level of freedom that comes with your lifestyle when you're operating in your purpose, when you're operating in your expertise, when you're operating in a capacity where corporate is not haggling you of your time. You have these microaggressions at work. You have so-and-so breathing down your neck, telling you, hey, you need to hit this key performance indicator. And you're like, I hit all of them and went above that. But, you know, in corporate America, if you're Black, it's just never good enough, right? But I want to tell you that you are good enough.
Yes, you are. And you have to believe it. You really have to believe it. Like, and you just got to do it. It's very simple. It's simple to say. It's challenging to get over that mindset that you can't do something, but you literally can do it. I know recently, the Most High just been telling me, just do it. I believe our last members video that we posted about me talking to our neighbor, because he mentioned that he was selling his house, and I haven't talked to him since. And then I saw him one day, and I'm like, you know what? I should go over there and talk to him. And then I went on with whatever I was doing. I think I was about to go cook or something. And I started about to cook, and then next thing I know, we get a knock at the door, and it was him saying, "Hey, could you come out? So, do you know anyone? Could you, I want to talk to you about the house." And it's just like, dang, you know what?
Yeah.
I just had to do it. I know, I know it's like a small example, but it's really that powerful. Where little situations like that, if you're thinking about something, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Like, really, even
Especially if you have expertise in it.
Exactly.
Like, don't let your expertise go in vain. I know for me, what motivates me at such a young age, I became an entrepreneur at 21 years old. And so I was always motivated by, I do not want to turn 80 and be full of regrets for what I didn't do. If I take risks, if I invest in myself and put myself out there, even if I quote unquote fail, but failure, you never fail. You always just learn lessons and level up. There's no such thing as failure. The only failure you have is if you just quit and you don't do anything and you stay paralyzed. That's failure. But that's what motivated me, like looking and thinking, like, because I worked in nursing homes, okay? And so I'm always around elderly people. I always spend time with my grandparents. So I would always be around elders, and I would always hear them like talk about things that they would regret. Like, they didn't take this chance. They didn't travel. They didn't open this business. They spent too much time at their job. And so that at a young age really hit me. And so I would always think like, man, no matter what, I do not want to turn 80. I don't want to turn 65 and look back on my life and say, why didn't I just do it and take the chance? And 10 times out of 10, especially in our experience, 10 times out of 10, the risk we take, we get exceeding rewards for it. Coming to Tanzania, risk. Leaving Ohio, risk. Going to the Caribbean on a cruise with our children when they were 5 and 3 years old, risk. All these quote unquote risks. Oh, what if something happens? But what if it's the best thing that could possibly happen in your life and it changes you forever? and it
Man,
changes your entire trajectory? Or would you rather look back like I missed another opportunity?
man, hallelujah. Man, that's so true. Because I saw
Yeah.
a video today, and it was a fish on a beach, right? And this beach, it had like the ocean coming to a certain point and going back, but it was like a hole, and it was water in this hole. It wasn't like a lot, like a big hole. It was a shallow hole, enough where a fish can hop in and swim around. And this fish was in the hole swimming around,
Mhm.
but the beach line and the waves would come up to a certain point, maybe a couple feet away from the hole where the water is. And the fish kept swimming around, swimming around, swimming around, just trying to find his way out, but he couldn't really find his way out. And eventually, what the quote was, if you don't take that chance, you would never know. So he took the chance to hop out and swim on top of the sand a little bit and keep moving around on top of the sand, and then eventually he gets to the ocean, and that's what he was trying to search for.
Wow.
And it's just a
Mhm.
bigger uh, um it's just a bigger blessing on the other side. Like, really, I know
Wow.
people say, oh, the grass uh it's not greener on the other side, but how do you know if you don't take that chance?
You
Because
never know.
from our experience, it is.
That right. Every
It
time we
really
branch
is.
out, it is. Every time. Every time there's a little bit of risk, it's good for you. We got used to being uncomfortable in
Mhm.
business and life and traveling. Anything that stretches your current capacity is good for you and it means you're growing. Similar to when you're pregnant. Y'all know I have multiple children. I've been pregnant multiple times. And so it's when you're at that stretching point that the greatest birth is about to happen. But unless you go through that stretching point where you're uncomfortable, there's no growth, there's no birth. It'll just
Mhm.
be a stillbirth, right? You have to grow, you have to be stretched beyond your current capacity. Everything has to be stretched in life, including seeds, plants. They grow, they stretch, they go beyond their current limits to expand into something bigger. But for humans, it has to happen by decision. There's no one that's going to like push you and say, okay, go do that. Like, we being humans have to make our own decisions for ourselves and say, hey, do I want my next year to look like last year? Do I want my next 3 years to look like last 3 years? Do I want my next 5 to 10 years to look like the last 5 to 10 years? And back to this quote that I always say: if you don't give up, you can never fail.
Mhm.
Like, failure is a delusion. If you don't give up, you will find success one way or another. Like, if you do not give up, whether it's traveling, doing business, parenting, homeschooling, if you do not give up, you can take a break, pause, that's fine, go on vacation, great. But if you don't give up and you always commit and come back, you can't fail. Same thing with marriage. If you always commit, if you always are in it, if you always come back and you're always willing to work, then you can't fail. The only time you fail is when you are
Mhm.
paralyzed and you stop. And like in the
Exactly.
spirit, those are the same things. Just
Yeah, that's how.
stopping.
Yeah,
It's like being
I was
paralyzed.
just about to say, like in a way, you got to endure every situation. Like, you really have to endure it. Um, it's just biblical. Like, if you really follow biblical law and understand the Bible and stuff, you will understand that what she was just saying, that's so true. Like, you have to endure every situation. It's kind of like practice in a way. So if you have this mindset of not giving up, it's pretty much the same mindset. I got to endure every situation to be saved. To,
Yeah.
like, it's just like, it just goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And that just is really going to take you to a whole nother level, like, really.
Yeah. Like Proverbs says, the hands of the diligent make rich, but the sluggards will come to naught. It's like having a spirit of excellence and a spirit of diligence about you will take you so far. We've been great. Gosh, what am I saying? We've been blessed and graced to be able to have that mindset and that spirit at such a young age. Because man, I'm telling you, when I still remember those times I would work in the nursing home. I'm sitting with people as they're in hospice on their dying bed. They're telling me what their life has been like. They're telling me their regrets. They're telling me what I should do as a young person. And it would always be the same. I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have had more time with my family. And I wish I would not have worked as much at that 9 to 5 job. Nobody goes to the grave and says, man, I wish I would have just worked in corporate for another 10 years. No one says that. People always say they wish they would have traveled. They wish they would have found a way to run that business, to own their time, to spend time with their family. Those are the things that matter, because when you're passionate about something, it's not work to you, it's fun. I'm a writer. I'm passionate about writing every day since probably age 3. I have been writing. There's not a day literally that goes by that I don't write something. Whether it's a prayer, whether it's for business, whether it's my journal, I write daily. Artists are the same way, whether it's painting, pottery, whatever it is, whatever your passion is.
Whether it's analyzing. Earlier at the store. We went to the store earlier. You said, man, you have to analyze everything. And I'm thinking like, dang, I kind of do. Like I'm always trying to see what could happen, what what's possible. Like if you do this, you do that, and that's just true. That's really true.
That's
so what
true.
You're saying that is like, dang,
that's strategy.
Yeah, like you got to strategize.
That's strategy.
Analyzing, you gotta know what's coming. Yeah.
You look at the fine details. This is why you're so good with video editing. You look at all the details, you mapping this out. It works out great. We here today, living our best lives. A lot of that is due to your ability to analyze and to project. I think if you weren't good at analyzing, you maybe wouldn't even be able to see in the future, to see the decline of the West. Like when you really look back, us as young people that we were back then, we're still young. But we were 24 and 26 when we left America. We were about 22 and 24 when we knew we were not going to stay in America forever. Yeah. And it's like, how do you get that mindset unless you're able to analyze, to see a data set, to see, you know what, in the next 10 years, this ain't going to look good. I need to get out of here now because obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah. All praise to the Most High. That's the mindset that you got to have, is his mindset. Like really.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about that in another video.
Yeah, obedience is better than sacrifice. And I want to pull in some statistics so people can see opportunities, see their future, see like, y'all, this is where the world is going. You can decide to be eating well in a famine, or you can decide to struggle in a famine. Either way, it's by your own choice and your own design. According to a study by MBO Partners, the number of high-earned independent workers, those making 100K or more, grew to 3 million in 2021, up from 27% from 2.2 million in 2020. And these were mostly, again, independent workers. If anybody is like, what's an independent worker? An independent worker is a 1099 contractor, okay? Meaning they could be doing plumbing jobs, electrician jobs, freelancing online, information technology, art workshops, speaking workshops, business workshops, any type of independent business, okay? That's what a contractor is, a 1099 contractor. Most people who have resources and wealth now, it's not like our grandparents' age when they had to depend on the pension at the one job. That time is way gone. And it's not going to come back because we're in the age of AI where most jobs will be obsolete. So right now you have to make the decision, do I want to wait until I'm obsolete, or do I want to be obedient to what's happening now and reap the rewards of it? It's up to you. It has to be your decision, right? We all have to make decisions in life. Now, this is the Black Educators Amplified Enrollment Guide. You guys can take a look at it on your own as well. I want to pull out a few main factors here as I go through slowly. This is, again, Cohort 5 of Black Educators Amplified. We launched maybe around this time last year for the first time ever. And it has been on the ups and ups ever since, working with various clients. And if you're someone, you're like, well, how were you able to actually structure this? How did you go about doing this? Well, we went about doing this based on our marketing agency. A lot of people don't know because we don't share it on the channel as much. It's a little bit too like technical for people to really be able to grasp. But at the same time, you might as well share it just in case one or two people can understand it. We are marketing consultants for both corporations and small businesses, have been for the past 8 to going on 9 years. We've worked with over 227 different businesses in finance, real estate, e-commerce, wellness. Those are like the main 4 areas. Used to be a little bit of natural care, assisting natural care companies with getting in target, getting their website branding together. But what most contractors and 1099s and independent workers don't understand is branding is everything. Branding is everything. And branding is not colors and logos. I'm not talking about that. Although that's a realm of it, but that's not the most important piece. Branding is not the most photogenic thing, the most aesthetically pleasing, although that's nice and all that stuff. But when we really talk about branding, driving results, can you properly articulate the value of what you do? If someone reads your website, is it impactful or not? Is it telling a thought-provoking story or no? People want to work with you based on how you make them feel. How you make them feel starts with what? The words, the stories you tell, the way that you speak to people. All of that happens when you're online, either on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, because we built a full-time, multi-six-figure business from the comfort of our home, meaning we did not have to go to any networking events. I've been to one networking event in my entire life. I'm not kidding you. I've been to one networking event my entire life, and it was in Tanzania for the first time ever. Why? One, because I'm an introvert. Okay, so I have a fundamental belief that me as an introvert that also is excellent at writing, excellent communications, I don't need to be at networking events. I need to be writing. I need to be putting myself out there online, writing so that people can see the value in what I'm giving them, right? And you can take that same approach. If you're a writer, you're a mom, you are an electrician, you are a massage therapist, you're a nurse practitioner, because we've had nurse practitioner clients on both the agency side and the 8-week accelerator side. And with those clients, we go through and help them to create their brand message. Something that I learned in nursing school that has stuck with me all of this time is how important education is. So we would have something during our nursing assessment called patient education. You would come in, you'd introduce yourself to the patient, you would talk to them about how their day is going, but then you're getting into patient education. Why? Because nurses need to sell the patient on how to take care of themselves. Okay. I want you to look at this from a business perspective. Education is everything. That's why it's called Black Educators Amplified. If you scratch out the word marketing and replace it with education, that's how you get a business to thrive. But if you try to start a business and you try to just stuff down people's throat, you haven't done any market research, you haven't properly gone through to educate the audience, they feel like they don't know you, it feels very off, then it makes your life very difficult, and then your business has a difficult time. And it really does not have to be like that if you value relationships, and relationships start with communications. Relationships start with writing communications, okay? And so that is the entire mindset behind Black Educators Amplified. Again, this is the last 48 hours because we begin Sunday, the 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern. January has flown by. Like it is just, man.
Already.
It's flying by, okay? But we have 2 slots available. The business incubator starts, and we will probably do it again perhaps in the summer, but I can show you real quick a breakdown of the full 8-week accelerator. So weeks 1 through 2, we go through the 20 question framework, which is the what, how, and why of your business. That's the market research phase. The main mistake that we see people make in this phase is doing the 1960s, 1980s, 1990s way of doing like this generic survey. This is one of the biggest mistakes you can make in business, because you can get stuck in like the busy work of, oh, let me just survey this 1,000 people that I just randomly knocked on all your doors, and you don't even know if they're in your target market demographic. Do they even match your ideal client persona? You know, who are these people that you're even surveying? Throw that thing out. Don't do that, bro, sis. You want to actually perform market research in a different way by crafting something in corporate marketing we call the ICP, ideal client persona. How old is the person that is ideal for your program? What are their passions in life? How much money do they make? What are their thoughts? What do they think about your specific area of industry expertise? What are they afraid of? What are they hopeful about? What is their view on their industry and what they think about all of those things? That's why you don't want to just go out door to door. People would waste so much time with that because back then they didn't have technology. So for them, it was like the best thing you could do. I mean, you don't have computers. They didn't have Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram back then. So how could they connect with people in their specific industry? Okay. So they would waste all this time door to door. Y'all remember door to door sales? People would just knock at the door and just say, "Do you want this cable? This cable?" Would they do that for Time Warner?
I mean,
You waste so much time.
Yeah. I guess it. Yeah. Because that brings me back to when I first started my landscaping business. I would go door to door.
Yeah.
To try to get clients, but just to get the experience. But eventually it switched over to
scaling
and posting pictures online, marketing online,
Yeah.
Trying to grasp people's attention online. So yeah, that's what just came in my head. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Dang, I remember those days going door to door. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're doing it in the summer, that takes up energy. Especially if you're a parent, you need to think wise. If you have a minimal amount of time, most of us do. Like if you're a parent, if you run different things, you have a minimal amount of time. You want to be very impactful with that small amount of time. So that's what the 20 question framework is about. Weeks 3 and 4, we go through your website content and copywriting. Okay. And y'all hear us say copywriting all the time because I've been a copywriter for 8 going on 9 years. Copywriting is simply the words that you write that are witty, creative, and innovative that get people to take action. Okay. So it's essentially helping your audience to be educated and to understand whether or not your program or your offer is for them. That's website copy and content writing. So you will learn how to do it yourself using our bespoke templates from our agency that has helped our clients over the past 8 to 9 years. After writing about 1,500 pieces of website copy, give or take, because we used to work with marketing agencies and I'm glad I did it when I was young because it was so demanding. They would have you sit and write 2,000 to 2,500 words per day. Okay. Content mills. Back then it was 2018. They would send me a check in the mail, like a literal check that I would cash in. I'm glad I did it when I was young, but now I can't even imagine just sitting there writing a 2,000 word blog, 2,000 word piece of website copy. On top of that, they would tell us that we had to turn it in within 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours. So you know what I would do it during nap time? I would turn on, what was that cooking show I used to watch back then? I forget what it was. It was some type of cooking show I would watch, and I would just sit and focus and write, bump that content out. So that is why I'm able to create business ideas. I'm able to see different angles very quickly. It's good practice, but that used to be a lot of work. Okay. So that's what you get in weeks 3 and 4. You're not going to write no 2,000 words. We're going to assist you, critique your website copy, help you to write like an expert marketer, like an expert business person, so that you can live your best life and sell your offers. Weeks 5 through 7, you're going to review and continue the intro to video marketing taught by my husband. And then you're going to get the intro to email copywriting and idea pitching for your offer build out. Okay. With business, most people don't understand that there's a lot of different business models you can use. And so you can create curriculum, you can do in-person workshops, you can do online workshops, you can offer your service, or you can do a mix of all of these like we do. We mix our done for you service, and then we offer this bespoke accelerator, and then we have a few courses available. So there's a way to mix and diversify your revenue in your business without doing something drastically different. Now, I do want to warn you, the pre-qualification that you have to have, the prerequisite for Black Educators Amplified is that you have to be willing to niche down. You have to be willing to say, I'm going to be an expert in this one specific area. You cannot come and say, okay, I'm going to do real estate this week. Then next week, I'm going to do art workshops. And the next week, I'm going to do plant workshops. And then I'm going to go and then I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do that. That does not work. For people that run successful businesses, they're known for one thing and one thing only. They may diversify and show different ways of doing that one thing, but at the core, everything they do is one skill. If you look at us, my husband, if you look at his core skill and focus on it, his core skill is actually video marketing. This YouTube channel that we have grown has grown greatly due to the fact that he focuses on video marketing and editing videos, and has done that for so long, to the point it's grown our YouTube channel to over 2 million collective views over the past 5 years. One specific skill that you get to learn weeks 5 and 7. Then week 8 is your launch week. Like, that's going to be around March. And you're going to apply everything you've learned and walk away with your coursework and 3 to 6 month content marketing calendar. Yes, you get to experience entrepreneurship and business life as if you're a corporation for a fraction of the rate. The reason being because we're passionate about small businesses. And in my work in corporate America, working in education technology, working in finance, working in tax, working with e-commerce brands that do 853 million collectively, I really realized that our community does not know this information. And it's really the most heartbreaking thing. It's so bittersweet when you're in rooms that are like way beyond your skill set and your level and your community's level. But then the sweet part of it is that you get to bring that back home to the community and show our people, hey, this is how you structure a business properly. This is how you educate your consumer without coming off salesy. This is how you display your expertise and educate people, build relationships with people, have a content marketing calendar, have a strategy, have a way to acquire clients. I know we were talking to a client about, was it 2 or 3 months ago? And she asked a really good question. And the question was, how can I have a formula to know when I'm going to get sales on Instagram? And I was like, that's a really good question. I used to be an Instagram manager back in 2019, 2020 for some clients down in the Bahamas and also one in Canada. And I was telling her, if you post according to the content calendar and you're posting, let's say 3 times a week, you post 12 times a month, now you get to track the key performance indicators, your profile views, your website traffic, how many exploratory calls have you booked, take an average of that and see, okay, when I speak to 5 people per month, I usually get 2 clients. So that would tell you, hey, you need to speak to at least 5 to 10 people per month if you want to generate more revenue and have more clients, right? It's a very simple formula, but our community typically doesn't understand and know these things. And so it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to serve you in this capacity.
Yes.
I think that's it. It's getting late, y'all. I like to be in bed around 9 p.m. and it's 8:08. Okay. So I stayed up late for y'all. I know y'all don't think it's late, but I did stay up late for y'all. I got all of my client work done. I batched it out earlier, like yesterday, got all of it done so that I can make this time for you here today, because I know that you have goals to move abroad. I know that you have goals to be an expert, but you're doubting yourself a bit. You don't see how it's possible. I'm here to show you the vision. We're here to show you the vision, but you have to make the decision for yourself. It's up to you to choose if you believe in yourself and act on it.
And what you saying that the people that's in the chat now, and the people that's watching, right? If you have a business idea, put it in the chat right now, and let's see if you can give them some tips. Because this is, I believe we did that on one live, but it was like late.
Later in the live,
yeah,
so
later in
whoever
the
was
live,
just on it.
yeah, they was just asking a question, but it was good, and it helped a lot of people. So if you are in the chat now, the 7 people that is in the chat now, go ahead. If you got a business idea and say, hey, do you think, this business idea would be good? How would you go with it? Like, how would you market it? What's the best platform to use to market it? Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Yes, ask your questions if you have them while I drink my pina colada. My pina colada is all gone. Herbal wellness consultant. That's excellent. Are you focusing on a specific area in herbal wellness, like children, hormones, motherhood, postpartum, pregnancy, maybe elders? Is there a specific niche and focus? Shalom, I'm late on the live, but I have ideas. Can we message you on email? Feel free to give your ideas now, because I'm about to go to sleep in an hour, y'all. I know y'all think it's early, but it's late for me. I like to go to sleep early, y'all. Kamaya, family and women's health. That's excellent. That's a great niche, especially women's health. So if I were you, what I would do is look at my expertise, look at women's health and wellness, do the market research to see the gaps in the market. Off the top of my head, you can take it from like both a breastfeeding, around pregnancy standpoint. I know a lot of people in the West are not fertile, but they would like to be fertile. If you could give them some tips on what herbs they can use, start to post educational blogs about that, share them in Facebook groups. You want to go in Facebook groups with sisters, or just Facebook groups in general where people are asking about women's health, right? And just provide value. Don't expect anything back. Provide free value. Share your blog, share your website, and begin having conversations. Once you start having conversations, you're building relationships. Then that opens the door for you to offer your services to them. Whether that's you created a curriculum that you can share with them so they can find their own women's health herbs, or if it's actually consultations that you do with them to walk them through how to improve their women's health. But the question I have for you, and you're going to have to do research on this, is what is the main problem your ideal client has with women's health? Are they having fibroids, or are they trying to get pregnant, or are they postpartum? What's their main issue? Focus on that.
That's good.
The second wake up says business services, including recruiting and virtual answering service. That's an excellent one. We had a client come in. That was actually my cousin. My client was my cousin in 2022. She launched an HR agency, and I assisted her in developing the ebook and developing the lead magnet and the welcome sequence. So this is an excellent one for anything business services, recruiting, having that virtual service. You want to be on LinkedIn. You want to be on LinkedIn like yesterday. Not only do you want to be on LinkedIn, but you need to have a quick, witty, smart elevator pitch where you say, I help you find more recruitments in X, Y, and Z industry. I help you to have this virtual assistant service so you can spend more time doing what you love and you have more people available to assist you in your business, right? Think about A to Z. What's the transformation that the client is expecting to experience? Work backwards from that. Then you will find the people that you need to be connected with, okay? And not Kamia. That is the second wake up. The second wake up, what you want to do with that is base it in America. Then you can stretch it out further. So you could also open up shop in Kenya. You could also work with people in Dubai. You can work with people all over from the comfort of your office, because we are in the age of the internet. Okay. That's an excellent one. Business service, including recruiting and virtual answering. My one tip would be to choose a specific niche though. With this could be like, are you talking about healthcare recruiting? Are you talking about small business recruiting? Are you helping small businesses recruit talent and them having a virtual answering service? Or are you helping trucking and logistics companies? Or are you helping a different industry? You see it, you can niche down on one specific industry and then expand from there, or choose to stay in that niche. Four Seasons says import exporting fruit and herbs, or what about farming? Oh, these are excellent. These are huge, enormous. But again, this all starts. For example, we have clients and people that we work with that are in government contracting and get government contracts for import, export, and farming. But again, this all starts with the website, meaning if nobody knows what your website is, especially serious people who want to do business and spend 10,000 on those oranges that you're going to import and export, we had a client that even does sea moss out of East Africa. beautiful website, write the emails, all of these things, import, export, e-commerce, okay? But it all starts with the website and building the audience, connecting with the right people. Number one, I would be on LinkedIn to connect with those people. I would choose 2 countries that I want to operate in, whether it's America and South Africa, America and Mexico, America and wherever. And I would work with those people and have a relationship with them. I would go on their inbox and LinkedIn, introduce myself, pitch my capability statement, have the website already up. But what is different about the import and export you're doing with fruits and herbs? What's your unique selling proposition? Your USP? What makes you different from all the other farmers out there? These are things to think about. They can be difficult questions at first, but the quicker you answer them, the more success and ease you're going to have in the long run. So those are excellent, absolutely. But it starts with that core message and finding your specific client base. You're welcome. The second wake up. You're welcome. Kamaya Lewis. She says, thank you. I didn't even consider any of this. Yes, you're quite welcome. Sadia Spratt says, senior health resources and education. Again, this is an excellent one. Why? Senior health is never going to go out of style because everybody's getting older all over the world. There's never going to be a shortage of old people, okay? And like I was saying earlier, my mother would actually go through senior assisted living facilities, teach these workshops. I had another client we had go through Black Educators Amplified. She used to work in healthcare. She came out 8 weeks later as a falls prevention specialist, operating and giving this service online to seniors across the country that want to stay home. Because think about seniors. What's the pain point of seniors? If you've been around seniors the way I have, they want to stay home. They want to be self-reliant. They want to feel strong. They want to feel like they still have a bit of their youth, right? So you can help them and aid them in that. So that's excellent. Senior health resources and education. I want you to choose a specific part of senior health that you want to help them, whether it's falls prevention, whether it's entertainment, whether it's having like a sitter that sits with them and you help them find a sitter, or maybe you are the sitter that sits with them. You can take a lot of different methods with that because that's actually a very broad industry, senior health resources and education. It's a broad industry. There's a whole lot you can do. In the nursing home I used to work at, they would have musicians come in, art therapists come in, singers come in. They would have, they had like pet experts come in, okay? So I've seen so many different realms that you can do with senior living. You can niche down and decide if you love doing music. You can come in and teach musician workshops. There's so much you can do, and it's really based on your passion and your experience finding that right demographic. Now, to connect with those clients, you're going to go in Facebook groups that are called like senior living, help my mother is growing older, help my father's growing older, getting in communities like that in Facebook groups. And again, like I was saying earlier, just being of value. Hopefully you would already have blogs on your website to say, hey, these are the 9 tips if your mom is turning 65 this year. These are the 9 falls prevention tips. These are the 21 tips that you need if your grandfather fell down the steps last year. Take these tools, this bit of information to help them never fall down the steps, to help them become more confident. The main piece is that you always want to empathize with the client and understand what their main pain point is. Whenever we are in business, we are not in business for ourselves. We're in business in service to others. And so empathy goes a long way. You want to understand your client the way you understand yourself. Sharon Ellis became a YouTube member. Congratulations, Sharon. You now have access to 45 plus members only videos where we document our journey through East Africa to Mauritius. So enjoy it. It's so much content. You got a lot of content to watch. It's fabulous content. Any other questions? Any other questions? Or reservations, things that you're afraid. I know a lot of people will come to us and say, I don't want to show up online. And I did not used to want to do lives. Y'all, I didn't start doing lives till 2020. I'll be honest with you. We grew our businesses through blogging, writing, as in website up, take a picture, blogging. That's it. That's how we grew our businesses until 2020. And then we were like, okay, we got to stop being so afraid of being online and all these things. Show our face, come speak. That was uncomfortable. We'll be honest. Like, man, I remember one of my business coaches, she, that's why I started working with her, because she was so adamant about going live. And I knew that was one of my weaknesses. And so that's why I decided to work with her. Like, okay, I need to get out of this comfort zone and just go ahead and show up online. It's extremely uncomfortable, but welcome that uncomfort so that you can grow and serve the people you need to serve. Because without showing up, people just won't trust you. Without showing up, it's hard to even speak to people. Without showing up, you can't demand anybody do anything and connect with the right people if you're not willing to show up. So Sadia Spratt says, I'm social service coordinator and I do it all and work from home in person. I provide services to the retirement homes and assisted living. Oh, okay. Social services. Okay. Yeah, you could continue doing that as your own business. Absolutely. Or you could A/B test. We have something in marketing called A/B testing, where you run two legs of your business at the same time. And so you can do the workshops and the coordination, as well as doing online workshops for seniors. You can take it both ways. I think that is it. Any last questions? Not to get off topic, but how much is the chlorine per gallon? I know you mentioned you have a pool that came with your home package. If you don't know, can you find out, please? I have no idea. You're in the pool industry. I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah, we don't know no price, because it's inside the included in the rent.
Mm-hmm.
So we pay the pool people, but we don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's included with the rent, but it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, pool industry is a hot market in Mauritius because every house has a pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every house here has a pool, y'all. Every single house. Like, it's rare to find a house that doesn't have a pool unless you're towards the middle of the island. Unless you are in the middle of the island. I think that is it for right now, guys. It's 8:22. My good night lights are coming on. My good night. Y'all see how dark it is? It's dark. Okay. I am going to go to sleep soon. Maybe watch something that I like to watch. Y'all be blessed.
Yeah. Email for any more questions.
And believe in yourself. Like, you're an expert. I want you guys to remember that you really are an expert. You are.
Just do it. Just do it. Like, it's simple. Just do it.
Yeah. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.